Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Check Me. Once again, we have Overreaction Monday. But we did have some good games this weekend. We had the Bengals beat up on the Chiefs again. And we also had the Rams beat up on the 49ers, this time making it back to the Super Bowl without Jared Goff, a.k.a. Ryan Gosling, but this time with the gunslinger, Matt Stafford. Quite a few good games we got going on. Let's hop right into it. I want to talk about the Chiefs game. I was surprised they let what happened last week happen again. Just utter disappointment on Mahomes' part. I know it's not completely his fault, but to be and he hasn't been in the league. He's been in the league 4 years, but he looked like the same Mahomes he did last year in the Super Bowl. I think teams kind of figured him out. They came out there. And I can't put it all Mahomes. What I will say is this: the second half adjustments by a defensive coordinator, I think Lou, whatever his name is, Amaro, were just phenomenal. So basically, the Bengals in the first half were playing a soft coverage for most of the first half. They were kind of saying, "Hey, look, throw it short. We'll live with you throwing the dink and ducks." And Mahomes took them. But the biggest thing that the Chiefs didn't do in the first half and the second half was continue to run the ball. They abandoned the run, and the Bengals, what they did continuously throughout the game was they ran the ball. Whether it was they were down by 11 points and they were still giving the mixing. Of course, we understand the Bengals, the run opens up the pass, but they continued to run the ball. Mahomes is also running in the first half a little bit more. I think that was a big adjustment, but the Bengals also did use this. It's kind of like playing Madden. They used the spy where he was kind of playing a zone with crossing routes over the middle, and they played man coverage. So basically, they were saying, "Hey, go across the middle, throw it to our spy," but the spy was also spying on Mahomes. I think that could have been mitigated if the Chiefs continued to run the ball consistently, and they stuck to the run. They did not do that. So with that as well too, I think the Bengals did a phenomenal job in the second half. And when you think of it, when your defense says, "Hey, look, we're going to shut down," one of the best when your defense literally says, "We're going to shut down one of the best offenses stats-wise for the past 2 years in the second half, except for 3 points." Your defense is doing something special. As a quarterback, you owe it to your defense to put points on the board. So, segueing to that, I want to say this. Joe Burrow is an up-and-coming, solid quarterback. Let's understand this, though. He has 3 1,000-yard receivers. T. Higgins, 1,000-yard receiver. Not to mention, he could be a number one on anybody's team if he really wanted to. Jamar Chase, he's a rookie, but he's a baller, right? Catching the pill, going deep. He can run the route tree fairly good. He's still not a vet when it comes to finding spots, but he can beat man coverage anytime he wants. And then let's not forget, Tyler Boyd had 2 1,000-yard receivers before Joe Burrow even came. So Joe Burrow is actually playing with three number ones. So let's not crown him, as well as an amazing run game with Joe Mixon. So Joe Burrow playing solid, right? But let's not crown him, right? Because he had a defense that got him the ball back. And then he also has weapons on offense that are just phenomenal. So because I know how y'all like to act, you like to pump rainbows up these people's butt. You like to put people on pedestals. You like to idolize these people. Calm down. Joe Burrow's solid, but that team is what makes them great, not just one person. So with that being said, the defense getting them the ball back. They played solid. Not only to mention, they did stop them in overtime as well too. So Chiefs got the ball back. Mahomes once again running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Not making plays. And what happens? The Bengals stop them. So hats off to the defense. They're the true MVPs of that game. But I will say this, and one thing about the Bengals, and I think this does come from Burrow. Joe Burrow is the kid at the park that's always swinging for the fences. And every now and then, he always gets a home run. Right? He gets on the street. That team is rallying behind Joe Burrow. And this is why I do give him credit. He is playing like, hey, look, like we're going for it, like somebody on Madden that just wants to play. He is literally going out there, hey, short memory. Joe Burrow has a short memory. He's doing the intangible things, running when he needs to, making plays when he needs to. And I think the essence of a quarterback that he has doing these things that helps him stay in the games is just making the team, hey, look, we got to do it for him. So hats off to the coach as well on offense, making adjustments, continuing to stick with the run. When you have a 1,000-yard rusher like Joe Mixon, who, like I said, who's a tank, feed him. He's the one that kind of set things off and stabilized things in the game with that big run in the second quarter as well, too. Sorry, in the third quarter as well, too. Second quarter, the touchdown run, second quarter as well, too. So I will say this as well, too. It will be interesting to see how the Bengals do when they play the Rams. So the Rams, I'm happy they got over the hump again. Odell's still a dog. And if you look at the evolution of Odell Beckham, he never really had a slump. You can tell, he didn't have as much gas as he used to, but Odell Beckham never really had a slump because the best part of Odell Beckham's game was not his intangibles when it comes to speed, when it comes to power or finesse. It's his knowledge of the game. Odell Beckham was still great out there finding spots, just like that two-hole shot, finding spots in the zone, getting open in man coverage, setting up defenders. This is why Odell Beckham's great. And I think we forgot about that because he played on the Browns, where it really didn't allow him to exploit who he was. He's playing across Jarvis Landry. It was great in idea and theory, but in actuality, it wasn't great for Odell. So hats off. And I will say this. Any type of leg injury will make you second-guess yourself. And you have to remind yourself, hey, you know what? I still have it. And that's what Odell did. Hats off to Odell. He's one of my favorite receivers when he came into the league. And to see him still doing what he needs to do now, it's amazing. And I think having him, I think Van Jefferson took a lot of the role that Robert Woods did. And they're allowing Odell to create in space. That offense is just phenomenal. Allowing Odell to create in space. Also allowing Cooper to work off of these different types of lineups. And then Van Jefferson replacing Robert Woods is just magnificent to see how that happens. And the architecture behind the Rams offense allows their best players to play their best. And that's why they're back in the Super Bowl again. The defense, once again, coming up big and at the end of the game. So many missed opportunities on both sides of the field. The interception from Tart, and then also the missed interception from Jalen Ramsey. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a solid quarterback. The rumors going around that he's not going to be back here next year. It's saddening to hear because I don't think Trey Lance is the guy at all. But we'll see what happens with Jimmy. I hope he finds his spot because he wins games, and as much as you want to say about him, he goes out there. He puts his hard hat on, grits his lunch pail, and wins games. And that's what you want in a quarterback. So. But when it comes down to it, the Rams are just better. I think the Rams are a better team. In other news, right, I will talk about some other things. I want to shift away from the playoff spectrum and talk about Josh McDaniels being the head coach. I think this is a better position for Josh McDaniels to be the head coach. I believe that Josh McDaniels going to the Raiders, he has a good nucleus of players who want to play football, that want to play hard, especially making the playoffs this season. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders come back and make a strong push. I think they retain Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr starts to have better careers, better seasons because of Josh McDaniels being there. So I'm excited to see what the Raiders do. I will touch on this. Two more things. Overtime rule, Tom Brady, but let's cover the overtime rule right now. So the overtime rule, everyone was complaining about it last week. Oh, it's not fair for the playoffs. Oh, no, right? Everyone was complaining about it, right? Because they wanted to see a good game. The NFL is not about having good games. The NFL is about playing football. And what you saw yesterday was the Chiefs getting an opportunity, getting the ball first. But what happened? The defense punched them in the mouth. And when a team punches you in the mouth like that and gets the ball back, all the momentum's gone. This is why the rule is like this. The NFL and these rules and overtime rule is not so everybody can have a turn, right? This is not that type of game. This is, hey, look, be happy that your defense is on defense first, right? And I'm sure the Bengals were happy because they saw how the Chiefs only scored 3 points in the second half. Why would you not want your defense out there? So I'm kind of happy that we got to see this week and see how the overtime rule plays its part in the playoffs and why it's meant to be. So everyone else with the overtime rule, just shut up, all right? Just be quiet. Don't say anything about it. This is why it's in place. The last thing I want to talk about is Tom Brady, right? I know you guys think I spend so much time talking about this guy. I don't hate Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady is a great quarterback. What I don't like is people who just hop on a bandwagon, who are trendy, who glorify a man. Because as long as I live on this earth, I will never put another man on a pedestal. I will never idolize another man and never glorify another man, because that's not me. If they bleed the way I bleed, I don't put any man on a pedestal. That's what you guys do, and you guys hype up whatever's trendy, right? So, but I will say that's with any Eagles player as well too. Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, Deshaun Jackson, all the guys that I love, I will never put them on a pedestal. All right, so just understand that. But I will say this about Tom Brady, and this is where I applaud. This is where I know Tom Brady's very smart. Tom Brady's smart in this perspective. He's not gonna. I don't think Tom Brady's gonna retire. Tom Brady's not ready to retire yet. Tom Brady's doing the same exact thing he did when he left the Patriots. He's looking for another opportunity because he's an opportunist. He's looking for an opportunity where he can get on a pretty much Super Bowl ready team to secure his legacy, right? Not secure his legacy, but to add on to his legacy. Tom Brady has to outplay Belichick. Belichick knows he gets 30 or 40 more wins. He's the best coach, the most winningest coach ever. And in the back of his head, Belichick is that. How can you call somebody the GOAT when they have the GOAT coach? Right? Doesn't work like that. But what Tom Brady's doing is this. Tom Brady is looking for a team. He's going to wait some off-season moves, some free agents. He's going to see, what team goes where. And if he sees an ounce of opportunity, he's going to hop on a team where he knows, preferably probably in the NFC, where he knows he can win a Super Bowl or get back to Super Bowl. I don't think that Tom Brady has a lot left. I think Tom Brady has enough to be on the team that can overshadow where he lacks. Aaron Rodgers has a lot of juice left. Tom Brady doesn't. But we'll see how it plays out. I know Tom Brady's going to spend time with his family. I'm sure Gazelle doesn't have a problem with him going playing again. She likes being up there in the box. I'm sure he spends time with his family during the season. I know, if you're a good football player, you will spend time with your family during the season. But what I will say is this. Tom Brady is looking for the best opportunity where he can position himself, where he doesn't have to play great, because he hasn't played great. He hasn't played completely exceptional, right? This year, what did he have? He had all the weapons where he can continue to add on to his legacy. So wherever Tom Brady goes, he'll wait till off-season moves, see what happens. I'm sure Tom Brady will probably try to be there after the draft, maybe make a decision after the draft because there's trades and stuff that goes on, or around that March, April time frame to make a decision. So I'm looking forward to. I want Tom Brady in the league again. I want to see Tom Brady play again. I think it's good for football. I will give my whole synopsis on the Tom Brady saga that I have. Nothing against the man. I don't hate the man. I just hate you guys who hype him up. Because, to be honest with you, don't think much about yourselves when you put another man above you. And I'll never do that. So, hey, look, that's it. I got a little tense at the end there. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Check Me. All right, y'all. I'm out.